When I was a kid, there was no like green butter.
Oh hell no!
If it didn't taste like gasoline, you couldn't get your hands on it.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, it was bad back
then.
Oh
yeah.
Oh god, the weed was so.
Now when I smell that, I'm like, please tell me there's angel dust on it or something. Please tell me that's
just something to something to go along with the gasoline. A little PCP, please.
Please tell me you're putting crack on top of that.
Yeah.
Get Heavy Podcast, hosted by Craig Gonzalez.
What's up, guys? We interrupt this podcast to let you know that we would love for you to, if you follow this page, if you follow this podcast, please remember to like, rate, subscribe, comment, review, however you want to do it on iTunes, on Spotify. Hit that notifications bell on the YouTube page. It really does help push that stuff forward. I appreciate everyone that supported us so far. Also, check out the merchandise, laughjunkies.com. Look for Get Heavy Podcast. There's a link in the description of this podcast and every podcast we do. We got a bunch of new merch, sweatshirts, sweatpants, active shorts. We got the new Think and Destroy line that is just dropped. We got a few new images that are going to be getting uploaded here soon. Made quick to order, shipped straight to your house. Super fucking simple. I really appreciate everyone that supported us on that. Also, my band Tongue is finally getting back into the swing of things. COVID is wrapping up, hopefully. And now we have a bunch of shows in March. March 18th, we have a show out there in Palmdale, California, the Transplants Brewing Company with Sasquatch, High Desert Queen, and Gray Moth. And also we'll be playing as well. So check that out. And then last but not least, Glowing Brain podcast alumni, Oakland fucking Rippers. They're coming through to Ventura at Gigi's Cocktail Lounge on March 24th. Go ahead and fucking come on out to that. It's 21 plus, $10 at the door. We're really, really excited to start playing again. And I appreciate the support and enjoy the rest of the episode. Well, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, it's been interesting ride so far up here. And I saw you on, Laugh Junkies, and I was like, okay, fuck, this guy looks like he'd be good to talk to, man. So might as well steal some thunder,
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Whatever Shayna and Brian are doing, I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
I've worked with Shayna off and on for probably like 20 years.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. She seems, I've only known her in the last couple of years, but she seems like a fucking, and Brian's they're both great people,
Well, Brian, I met him through her.
Oh, okay.
And I was just ecstatic. Mm-hmm. That she found somebody. She's never had a hard time finding dudes. It's just dudes that are, worth
getting dick.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. If you want anything else,
yeah.
I do want to say she and I did make out. So I know she's probably gonna be so mad about that.
Hey man,
I can say the same thing about me and him. So, whatever works, bro.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. If I make out with Brian, we're all good, right?
Yeah. I think they cancel each other out. Yeah. Is that how that works?
But that was years before she met Brian.
Yeah.
I was surprised I got that.
Well, we all know Ventura and Oxnard is a small fucking
tiny dude.
Oh, tiny and such.
There was a time where I was in a bar and I just started dating my wife, and there was 4 chicks in there that I had fucked at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And they were talking to each other.
Oh,
and I was
the worst.
I was like,
no.
I'm just gonna light the bar on fire. There's no, I'm fucking out of here.
It
was my own show, and I played the show, and I went,
right.
I was like, oh my god, dude! I saw them all talking to each other and looking at each other, and I was like, Rosie, you want to get the fuck out of here? She's like, yeah, let's go.
You play guitar or bass? Or?
Yeah, guitar.
Yeah, so you gotta break down anything. You just throw your axe in the case.
I break it down, but I'm fucking out, dude. I would have rather set the bar on fire than be there. At that moment.
There's never anything better than looking for the fastest exit while you're still on stage. You're like, all right, what's the quickest way to get out of here?
Dude, there's been a lot of those situations.
When I worked at the tavern, I ran out back. So I'm like, hey, my ex-girlfriend's up front. And then there was another ex-girlfriend out back. So I was like, oh, okay, well.
Which one would I rather?
Well, honestly, my ego just went, well, we're definitely getting laid tonight.
Oh,
there that did not happen. That's my ego's like, we got this.
We're going to circle back around on this one. man. So you're obviously from Ventura.
I grew up in El Rio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I grew up in El Rio.
Fucking
Yeah.
river rat,
With what's his name? Kuklinski. He grew up out there too. So, but on the Strickland track on right next to Rio Mesa.
Okay.
So you have heard the term river rat, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm actually a member of the.
Glassed over on that one. I was like, you never.
Well, that's
heard that
that's
term?
supposed to be a put down, and we're supposed to fight.
No,
but
it's
I
not.
just.
Well, yeah, there is the whole we might fight. You know,
Yeah.
I grew up in Lemonwood, so we had to
Well-
deal with fucking.
Oh yeah,
boys a lot.
Yeah.
you
Well, the
know?
thing is growing up in a town like El Rio, they're just kind of like they're like a third string gang.
Just-
So
I
it's like
was
you
from
can't really
Lemonwood.
even take the gang serious.
No,
right?
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, El Rio would show up on El Dorado and Lemonwood. We'd be like, oh, I guess they're here, and then we would never go over there. You can't find nobody. It's such a big place, and nobody's anywhere except for those little fucking duplexes and condos over. I can't remember the name of the road anymore, but man, you can't find nobody.
Well, Balboa
you
used
know.
to be Trouble Street.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah, okay, there you go.
And I grew up
Yeah.
on Alvarado, the next street over. I mean, really, overall, other than theft, it was a pretty mellow neighborhood. I mean, me as a little toe-headed, red-headed kid go running out at past 10 o'clock,
Right.
and I never.
I
I mean, a lot of bad shit happened, but I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't at
but
least because of that.
I
Yeah.
have always said and will always say, then there's a few neighborhoods like this where like El Rio, no matter what the kind of what people get from it and what they think about it, it's a family neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Baseball,
Absolutely.
bat, whatever.
Absolutely.
It's going to be, everybody's going to be there. Everybody's
We've
going to
still
be a
got
part of it.
If anybody's got any type of equestrian lifestyle, they're more than likely going to live in that area or
Yeah.
around there.
But everybody still
That
they
means
all know
horses.
each other, whether you speak English or you don't
Yeah.
speak English.
Yeah.
You could be an English speaker and have a neighbor that doesn't speak English, and you're still going to be friends.
Oh yeah.
You're
Oh
still
yeah.
going to barbecue
Yeah.
and give each other plates. and
Absolutely.
it's
Right.
such a communal neighborhood.
Yeah,
You know,
it
Santa
really
Paula
does.
is the same way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Lemonwood was
Absolutely.
not that way at
Yeah.
all.
No.
You know, it was just let's do dope and get dirty.
Well, if it's any consolation, Lemonwood Chicas is now a force to be reckoned with. So
It was when I was a kid.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Like
we
with
were
the
shot out a lot.
whole dissolving of Colonia Chicas kind of being the
Mhm.
main attraction, and a lot of that I think has to do with the fact that they actually finally conceded to joining La M, the Mexican Mafia.
Mhm.
For a long time, they were a gang that was strong enough to resist the Mexican Mafia.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
I to this day I didn't even think anything existed like that. Come to find out,
Right.
the Mexican Mafia basically controls the
Everything.
border and Southern California.
Yeah.
Everything.
Essentially.
So
for
yeah,
sure.
but
Yeah.
growing up, that was everything.
Yeah.
Where did all the
Yeah.
cool bands come from? Where did all the good art come from? Where did all the good movies? Los Angeles, Southern California. I
Right.
mean,
It's
when you're 12 years
arguable.
old, it's easy to see things that way.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I grew up in Montalvo, so we had, ESM, which was a gang,
Yeah.
but
What is-
Montalvo, the
what-
real ghetto consists
What
of
is
3
ESM?
East Side Montalvo, right? So they're very small. They fight with the Avenue a lot, right?
Okay.
But it's three
That's so
fucking,
funny.
it's 3 blocks. Like it's
Yeah.
3 actual cul-de-sacs. That's the
Yeah.
whole fucking ghetto. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it was like, I was like, fat little white metal kid out there, and I was always fine when I was there, but they tried to jump me in the gang like 20 fucking times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm not the guy, man. Like I
Yeah.
definitely like BB gun fights in the streets. That's fun. You know what I mean? That shit, getting in trouble, running from cops. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
fucking,
Well,
I'm not doing whatever you're doing. man.
when you join a street gang, you really limit yourself. Like basically
Right.
what you're saying is this city, these 8 blocks, that's it. That's it.
Right.
That's it. I have no
Yeah.
plans to visit Europe or go to
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah,
No.
totally.
I got,
No, I got to rep
But you
these 3
also-
blocks.
You
Yeah.
also you don't even look past that. Like
No.
when I grew up in the first apartment behind the 7-Eleven on El Dorado and Lemonwood.
Okay.
So you know where the 7-Eleven is? I grew up in the apartment right behind there,
Okay.
on that alleyway,
Okay.
facing the fucking
Okay.
strawberry field.
Hmm.
That's where I grew up. So I never even there was no thought process to it. It was, this is where I live. This is what we do. You walk downstairs, you hook up with the homies, you go roll around the neighborhood. Whoever's going to show up that weekend
Yeah.
is
That's what's
who
happening.
you're going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might be some Filipino gang. It might be
Oh,
some
wow.
Loma Flats.
Yeah.
It might be, Santanas.
Yeah,
It might be
yeah.
whatever it is. But you just walked around and waited.
Yeah.
And hopefully,
Wait for trouble. Dude.
hopefully,
That's
you know,
okay.
it didn't happen and you could finish your 40 and smoke another stress joint. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. Because when I was a kid, there was no like green butter.
Hell no, dude.
If it didn't taste like gasoline, you couldn't get your hands on it.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, it was bad back
then.
Oh
yeah.
Oh god, the weed was so
now when I smell that, I'm like, please tell me there's angel dust on it or something. Please tell me that's
just something to something to go along with the gasoline. A little PCP, please.
Please tell me you're putting crack on top of that.
Yeah, it's true, man. I mean, now you're like, when you find a seed, you're all, wow, look at that.
I should plant this.
Yeah, totally. Now it's like a commodity, dude.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember, back before indica really hit hard around 91-ish, if you got a seed with stripes on it, you were just like, oh, it's got stripes. That's good. That's good. And you would, one year, McDonald's for their kids meal, they had a little tiny, and it was like maybe 6 by 8 inches greenhouse.
Oh,
and I had like a big bag because we're just smoking that stress and there's seeds all and I just had like a handful of seeds and I dropped them in there and in 4 or 5 days they were pushing the roof off and my mom's like, I know what that is in your room. I'm like, it's pretty fucking impressive, huh?
Pretty good shit, dude. Yeah. I remember I would just be smoking and you just hear that pop,
oh yeah.
Fuck, I missed
Here comes my headache.
Dude, I was thinking the exact same thing. Oh, here goes that fucking headache.
Someone's getting dizzy.
No,
watch out.
A couple of days ago, my brother and I were bullshitting back and forth about where we started and where we came back, and we were talking about I got 5 on.
Yeah, that's
and we were talking about it, and I'm like, remember, bro, when we'd all get together and chip in $2 to get that little square fucking bag of weed, and hopefully it was a little green, but you just we didn't give a shit. It was just enough. And then we could maybe share a 40,
and
then get a little high and just sit there and watch,
just giggle.
Watch Miami Vice.
Yeah. I remember how hard it was to finish a 40. I mean, for the first year of my drinking, I couldn't finish it before it was coming back up.
Right.
I remember the first time I completed a 24-ounce steel reserve. I called my friend. I'm like, I did it.
Really?
I couldn't finish a 24. I was in my 30s. 28. I don't know. Really? Way too old for that. Well, my homie Scott, we were connoisseurs of malt liquor.
Oh, okay.
So whenever for a while,
those 2 words allowed together.
What's that?
Connoisseur and malt liquor. I don't think. I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to use those fucking words.
I just pictured a magazine
The only one that changed that was fucking
with Billy D. Williams.
Yeah, Colt 45. Yeah, Colt 45.
Yeah, so we might need to reframe that one. But
Colt 45. Colt 45, and what was the Blue Bull? It was like Brahms or something like that.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a deep cut.
That's before our time. But the adults, when I was a young buck, I grew up in nightclubs and bars and stuff downtown or where the pier is. I don't even know what restaurant it is, but there used to be a nightclub called Charlie's.
Okay.
And my mom's first husband played there, and I grew up out there. I grew up, 5, 6. I was sitting at the bar stealing cherries out of the little buckets, playing Miss Pac-Man.
Your mom's first husband played in a band?
He played in a lot of bands.
What was his name again?
Paul Fasulo. He's my brother and sister's biological father, but he's basically skipped out on all of us. Last I looked him up on Facebook, he had hepatitis C, jaundice. What's the one that makes your eyes yellow?
That's jaundice.
Is it jaundice? Yeah. And it was
usually gives you jaundice though.
And it really was horrible because they're like, oh, this guy's so great. He's such a great musician. It's like he was a horrible human being, but
it's weird, isn't it weird? The legacy someone could leave behind with so many people, and then there's this whole other group of people that are like, he's a real piece of shit, dude. You know what I mean? That's what I worry about. Not that I'm worried about my legacy, but I always wonder, I have friends and family, and then my family, what are my kids going to be like? Well, he's kind of a piece of shit, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of my weirdest fears, man.
When somebody I think what's his name, the guy that plays God, the black dude,
oh shit,
Morgan Freeman. Something came out about him being a sexual predator or sex offender.
Is that true?
I don't know.
I remember hearing about it, but I don't know.
Anyway, fuck off.
He's not.
Off.
You're saying
no,
no?
He's not.
Okay.
No, he's not.
Right.
He's an older gentleman of color, and sometimes
he's Blane.
sound, Sometimes they say stuff that seems inappropriate, but it is culturally okay in their community.
Did he not marry his fucking stepdaughter, like his daughter? He didn't do that.
I don't know.
Are we talking about Woody Allen? Because Woody Allen got away with all kinds of shit
too. Yeah, but
no, what do you mean too? We don't.
But we don't. Yeah,
this is true. Yeah,
right.
Woody Allen is a verified.
Woody Allen's a piece of shit on his own.
Yeah, and his own.
Morgan Freeman, I don't know.
We'd have to look into it. Yeah.
I think we're all doing a lot of speculation
allegedly
here about a legend that played God because he should.
Yeah.
All right. So let's let's
and also
Shawshank Redemption. Anything he does after that's okay with me.
The Shawshank was great, man.
One of the greatest movies ever.
Did you ever read the book, the story?
I will now.
His character was originally Irish. That's why in the movie, when they say, "Why do you call you Red?" He goes, "Well, don't you know? I'm Irish."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go. That's
yeah.
Are you a big reader?
Fuck me up.
Oh yeah. I stopped reading Stephen King though decades ago.
Really?
It's too much detail.
When he stopped doing coke, probably, right?
I can't really
yeah.
So, well, I mean, I really haven't stopped doing coke.
No, not when you did. When he did. When he did.
Whatever that was.
Yeah. No, like I remember reading stories about him, and like he was like he doesn't even remember writing whole books. You know what I mean? Like, he'd just be fucking coked out of his mind.
Oh, that, yes.
You know what I mean? Like, just coked out of his mind, smoking cigarettes for a month, like in a fucking cabin.
Hey, that's how Marilyn Manson does it.
I guess, yeah. But
whatever.
He is over here.
There's a lot of very relevant historical writers and stuff that spent their whole life shooting heroin, snorting coke, drinking,
well, I mean,
in the middle of nowhere.
With guys like Galileo and stuff, we've tested their pipes. Galileo and who's a couple of they were smoking hallucinogens, marijuana.
They're getting it, dude.
Yeah.
They're fucking getting busy over there.
And that's where very rarely are you going to come across a Seinfeld. Somebody's just naturally brilliant,
right?
Insanely.
And
I appreciate that analogy.
And drugs gives us an opportunity to really dwell in depths that we probably normally shouldn't.
Or dwell or work our way towards. Like dwell.
I guess work through,
work our way towards. Yeah. I lost my wife a couple years ago, and they tried to put me on all these different antidepressants. And I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I didn't like the way it made me feel. I didn't like the way it made me not feel.
Yes, that's what it does.
The second that little Willie and the Wonder Nuts was like, nah, I don't even want to talk to you, homie.
That's when I quit doing coke, actually.
Well, okay. That's we'll get back to that one. But I started microdosing mushrooms.
How'd that work out for you?
It was a fucking lifesaver, man.
Really?
It was.
They are awesome.
It is. When I first did it, I got I got an ounce of mushrooms, ground it up. My cousin, love her to death for us. Appreciate you, baby. Thank you for everything.
Definitely throw her name out there, dude.
Well, maybe I shouldn't have done that because now she's in academia in Alaska.
Dude.
Hey, man, come on.
Where's the bleep button?
I got it. No. Leave fuck out of a podcast.
Oh, well,
Really?
Hey. So one of Richard Pryor's best albums. What's it called?
Don't say it.
Look, I'm gonna go.
I'll get back to you after the podcast. We'll get back.
I can do you even better. I can do you even better. I'm not a big Richard Pryor fan.
Oh, really?
I never related to him.
Interesting.
I never related to him.
As a comedian,
though.
Yeah.
Not one of the greatest storyteller. As a comedian, he was the greatest storyteller.
He was a great comedian. I'll never not say that.
Yeah.
He was a great, amazing storyteller. That was his vibe and what he did. Yeah. His talent was being able to drag you in and make you believe in the characters that he did.
Right.
Redbone, all these different little things that he did that was the catalyst for everybody after him, because there was nobody before him that told stories like that.
No.
The way he told stories and his characters and the way he brought things to life, when he talked about setting himself on fire and all that other stuff. Now, he wasn't a joke writer. Right. He didn't sit down and write Seinfeld jokes.
Yeah.
But his storytelling was like still to go back and watch the stuff that he did was outstanding.
Plus, not to mention he much like Lenny Bruce and not too many people before them, they were just absolutely raw. They were
Right.
real.
Right.
You know, we're not here
They
to pretend to
could
be
be.
anything we're not.
Yeah.
They could be.
Yeah.
It just has progressively gotten to where you have to filter.
Well, I mean,
And
with
they
like
did.
Richard Pryor, he was talking a lot of, he grew up in a horror house and
Yeah.
his drug addiction and his problem, you know, with relationships and stuff. And, you know, he brought us into that world, which most,
Yeah.
you know, look at
Most
Ellen.
humans don't
Ellen's a
have
prime
it.
example. She's the worst off stage,
Right.
but on camera, she's like, be kind to everybody.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know, so
But and I haven't even kind of thought about even looking into it. What's her story? Where'd she come from? We don't have comedians. We don't have funny people without that history. You can't, you know, there's a few people out there that are funny without the fuck.
oh yeah.
But that's this much
Yeah.
in comparison. It's a minute amount. Like you don't get funny, you don't get that stuff if you don't have the trials and tribulations and all that.
No,
bullshit.
you definitely have to have something wrong with you to be a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
So-
Anybody's a stand-up
yeah.
comic, they were something happened in their
Most of the time,
childhood.
yeah. What is it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, you don't have to. You're not denying his fucking, you know, how good he was, but it just doesn't do it for you.
No, for me, I mean,
Who are the comedians that do it for you? Or like
Sam
who-
well, back then it was Sam Kinison
Okay.
and Rodney Dangerfield. Oh, I
Okay.
fuck it. So from
Rodney's
like
the
5
best.
years old, I
I know.
loved. What are you
So-
kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
like an incredible human. Like
Yeah,
the
Right.
fact
Oh,
that
and
he
the-
like took years and years and years off and said, fuck you guys.
yeah,
I'm not doing it no more.
Yeah.
And then came back with stacks of books where he
Oh,
wrote
dude.
jokes and
Yeah.
just fucking slayed everybody. And you guys are going to appreciate this at some point. You can meet me at the garage, 1091 Scandy Avenue, and I will be wearing a robe with nothing underneath it. I will be walking around. My shit's going to be dangling.
Don't you want
Just
people
like
to
he
go
did.
to your?
Hey,
Oh,
you're
they're
all
gonna
right.
show up. Yeah, I'm gonna sit in the corner. Hey, how you guys doing? What's going on? Come on over here.
So when you talk about Rodney Dangerfield, those guys, is it just because you could literally relate to him more, or do you like an actual joke structure?
I think it was the joke structure. It was the
structure of it.
one-liners. It was
Okay.
the like, hey, I'm here to make you guys laugh.
Right,
Whereas
right.
Richard Pryor, I'm here to make you think, and you're going to laugh as a
Right,
result,
right.
kind of.
How did you
Yeah.
feel about Carlin then?
Same. I wasn't really too big on him, but I
Yeah.
absolutely loved him.
Right,
I
right.
absolutely.
I
He's
got
to me, Carlin. I'm not gonna make any friends here, but between the two of them, I would prefer Carlin.
Really?
Yeah.
I will not say that I prefer Carlin, but I think their humor's the same.
Yes, it's very similar.
I appreciate who
Yes.
they both are. You know, Carlin, man, that he said shit, did shit that was always outside the box.
Yeah.
And made
Yeah.
you think, you know, but there was no structured one-liners, you know.
No,
Not really,
But
no.
he would write
No,
full
no.
entire. He'd write the
No.
full fucking thing out
Yeah.
on paper and recite it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and he was obviously. I mean, there's no argument that he's the most prolific fucking comedian on earth. You know what I mean? As far as like with body of work, you know, I mean, the guy put out almost a special every fucking year for
That's hard to
35
do.
Oh my
years.
God.
So
Dude,
hard
you
to
know what I
do.
mean?
Yeah, it's
Were they
hard
all
to do
good?
every
No,
4
probably
years.
not. You know, but
to-
like as far as like actual volume of work, I don't think there's anyone that's even fucking close.
No.
Well,
Do,
like-
do you know anyone that?
like with beginners and stuff, if at the end of your first year you have 20 minutes, that's good.
Really good, right?
Yeah.
If at the
So
end of your first year, if you have 5 minutes of real, like, make people laugh consistently, that's crazy.
that's fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about this stuff, and I'd like to think that I'm funny, and I look
We'd
at
all
this
like
stuff,
to.
and yeah, exactly. But I look at like I could pop some stupid shit off pretty quick,
Yeah.
but to actually get up on stage, and I've ran it through my head, like certain little jokes that I know work, and
Yeah.
little things that I have,
Yeah.
you know, and like, okay, how do you make that 5 minutes
Ugh,
to where
I don't
you
know.
can do that 5
It
minutes?
sounds terrifying.
And then as you start
It
to
is.
like, if you really pay attention to all this stuff, the commitment of getting on stage and eating a dick off that 5 minutes that killed the week before, and then being able to go through and do it again the week after is
Yeah.
just
Yeah. What was it
It's-
like?
it's
How long have you been
amazing.
doing comedy? I know you said you've been taking a break, obviously.
Since
COVID,
I started in 2014.
but- okay.
Oh, you've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the first catalyst? Like why did you do it? Where did
I was
open
depressed.
mic? What
I
was
couldn't
it?
get off the couch.
Okay.
Jeff Urea, who I didn't really know back then, was giving away free tickets online for the Ventura Harbor Comedy
Okay.
Club. And I was so desperate just to get out of the house and do something that I went to Thousand Oaks, picked up my friend, and we had a great old time. The comedians were actually funny, a couple of local comics that, you know, because comedy didn't exist up until, 2013, 2014 out here. There really wasn't any local comedy. So I found it hard to believe that there was even 2 stand-up comedians in Ventura County, let alone 2 funny ones. So I said something on Facebook about, oh man, that was so great. I'm so glad I did that. And, hopefully one day I'll be able to have the balls to do that. My friend's like, well, why don't you? And I was like, when he put it like that, it's like, well, So I think I waited about a little less than 2 weeks. I did all my jokes in front of a camera.
Oh, really?
And I'm thinking like, I'll be lucky to have like 5-10 minutes. It was over 20 minutes.
Really?
So I was like, okay, I'm good in that department. Now I just got to cherry pick and then.
Yeah. How long did you have on your first one? Like 3 minutes, 5 minutes or something?
My very first open mic was like 4 or 5 minutes. Really? It was at the Ventura Harbor. Okay. Yeah. 7 at the most. I mean, a good portion of that is, you're kind of umming and ahhing and you have every opportunity to get off stage, but to me it's better to twist in the wind than just to give up, right? Because even if you stand there silently for 3.5 minutes, there might be something that you come up with in the last 30 seconds that saves it or what have you.
Now when you did your first set, did it go as planned? Like were you, I mean, because it always feels like, I'm not a stand-up comedian, but everyone always says like, oh yeah, the first set, you feel like you do okay, and that's kind of what brings you back.
It's like it's like sex. You're like, oh man, I'm just glad, like now I can finally say I'm not a virgin. Like, was it bad? I don't know. I have nothing to compare it to. I didn't cry.
Yeah. You didn't shit your pants
on stage.
Run off stage.
No, on stage. Yes, I didn't cry or shit my pants on stage.
Yeah. But it was enough to where you're like, fuck, I think I can do this, dude.
I just didn't really have anything else going on, and there was definitely I want to continue trying this.
Right.
And then there was a lot of open mics and stuff in Ventura and Oxnard, and then my dad had passed away. I received some money as a result of that, so I had my days were wide open. I should have been working, I should have been saving, I should have been investing, but I was fucking off doing comedy.
Right.
But as a result, I progressed ridiculously quick.
Oh, that's good.
My 2-year plan was to perform on the main stage at the Comedy Store, and 6 months in, I was performing on the main stage at the Comedy Store.
So you got in the Comedy Store circuit and all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was performing regularly, at least once a month.
Right.
I could perform more, but I didn't really know too many people out in LA, especially people out in LA that'll come to the Comedy Store to see me.
Right.
Like they're all a bunch of comics too. They're not going to come just to see me.
Right.
So it's like I wanted to kind of keep expectations a little on the lower side.
And you were all continuing to live here and just driving up.
Yes. Yeah, like 4 or 5, sometimes 7 nights a week.
Wow.
Yeah. I would just one night I worked out in Thousand Oaks. I worked at the mall, and I got off work early at like 8 o'clock, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna drive to the Comedy Store. And that night, that really sealed the deal for me, because I was about 2 weeks after I went to that comedy show in Ventura, and I saw Mark Maron, Eliza Schlesinger, what's his name? Donnell Rawlings. He was on. He's the one that says, "I'm rich, bitch."
I know Donnell. Yeah, he's very funny.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And you saw some killers.
Judah Friedlander. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So I was like, and this is a Tuesday night, and I just showed up.
Right.
And like, Eliza Schlesinger bumps me as she walks. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Like that's holy crap. And that's the thing about like skateboarding and poker and comedy. You're gonna get to rub shoulders with the absolute legends. You're just gonna kind of occasionally. They're just, one time I'm standing out in the back door of the Comedy Store, Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock show up, and we're all acting like we don't even like. Oh, it's whatever. It's no big deal.
Really,
I'm fanboying. I'm fangirling out inside. I'm like, oh my god, it's them. Oh my god.
Yeah,
oh
totally, man.
Dude, I should ask for a picture. No, don't ask for a picture. You want to look cool. Right? Like, no, they know I'm a fucking dork. They know I'm a dork. They haven't heard of me.
Yeah.
Like that just.
Oh, dude. Yeah, because it's rare that you see people that fucking famous.
They're my 2 absolute favorites.
Yeah,
too.
Are they? Okay.
Absolutely.
Chris Rock's up there. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's Chris hard Rock. For anyone to tell me that they don't like Dave Chappelle. I'm like, okay, dude,
well,
it
depends on how offended you're trying to be.
Right. Really. Yeah, totally.
And I'll be honest,
hair like this,
and it's blue. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Remember when we were all attracted to women with blue hair? And now we're like, no.
I remember there was a time where like the hottest thing on earth was like a chick with a Chelsea cut and fucking red bangs.
Dude, right? Yeah. When they would just do the bangs. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did, but I'm fucking sorry, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it went way south.
I don't know if I can hurt you that much, baby. I don't know if I'm the one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But that's to be performing at the Comedy Store is like, I mean, because we're huge fans of comedy.
Yeah.
We listen to a lot of podcasts and shit. And you hear the stories, especially from Rogan, and he talks about it endlessly.
That's the thing, yeah.
And you just to be around those people is a trip.
You're like, dude, I was there. Rogan's talking about what happened, and I was there. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
And he was there every night.
The reason that he's so is he just has the biggest mouthpiece of all the comedians, but he's just another one of them.
Well,
he's just another guy.
Well, unless he tells us some real shit.
Oh,
was
dude,
he over
this
here
motherfucker.
Throwing tantrums?
No, he's great. He's great.
He's
a guy, just like any other guy. He's gonna get mad sometimes. He's gonna get happy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
The couple of times I've seen him being unreasonable was because he was given an unreasonable situation.
Right. Yeah.
And that's otherwise, if you walk up to him, hey, I'm a big fan. Can I take a picture? Like, oh yeah, yeah. Not me though, because I'm like,
I've been around a lot of shit, did security for a bunch of different people, worked around bands and done a bunch of different stuff. There's only a couple times where I've been like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
One was DJ Quick.
For sure. I love DJ Quick.
I was working as a bouncer and I was walking him to his
Was that
car.
Here or in Ventura?
I got a good DJ Quick story. I'll tell you.
I had his CD in my back pocket that I bought when it came out in the 80s.
Quick is the name?
I had it in my pocket.
That's awesome.
And I wanted him to sign it. And I walked him out into the elevator, just me and him, downstairs, opened the door, opened the car door, and let him into the car and didn't say a word. Because I was just like, this is Quick. My favorite producer to this day. You know what I mean? I love his rhythms. I love his beats. I love his everything about that motherfucker.
Dude.
Love him. And when I saw Joe Rogan at the Comedy Store, went down there, he was with Ari Shaffir, and they were walking out, and I was like, like I didn't know what to say.
Like you don't even know you're like, I'm a man and this is happening.
Like, and he's a fucking like
like
if I just like, hey yo dude, what's up? He'd be like, hey man, what's up? But I'm like,
anybody says, hey, I appreciate your work, you can be like, hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, totally, man.
I appreciate your work. Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So DJ Quick did a signing at Salzer's when I worked there. Right, like an in-store fucking signing, right? And I'm a big DJ Quick fan.
That's awesome.
I like him enough.
Me too. I love him.
So it's fucking cool. We're all sitting there. There's hundreds of fucking people that are coming in. It's getting down towards the tail end. I want him to sign something. This motherfucker's been signing CDs, posters, blah blah blah, blah, all this shit all day, dude. So upstairs there's a fucking lawn penguin, like a penguin you stick in your lawn, dude. You know what I mean? And I'm like, hey, I need to buy that thing real quick, dude. So I fucking walked downstairs with this thing. I'm like, what's up, DJ Quick? Big fan, man. Can you sign this penguin? And he fucking he looked at me. He was like, man, are you fucking serious? And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm serious as fuck. I want you to sign this fucking penguin. It's in my yard right now, dude.
That's awesome.
And he fucking signed it. And he was dying laughing and insulting me like the whole. He's like, this motherfucker, this fucking fat bearded white motherfucker over here. I mean, he was giving me hell, dude, but he fucking signed my penguin.
That's so rad.
We've had it in the yard for years, dude. The signature's about wore off. I'll find it and show it to you. Oh, dude, I was fucking
dying. Awesome,
because I was like, this guy signs all just boring shit all day. And I'm a fucking weirdo, dude. I was like, I want a DJ Quick penguin, dude.
Hey man, that's awesome.
He couldn't fucking believe it, dude. He thought I was fucking with him. He's like, you really want me to sign this thing? I'm all, yeah, man. I need you to sign it. He's like, fucking white motherfuckers is weird, dude. You know, you just gonna say, it's so fucking funny, man. I was dying.
He's good. Yeah, in my opinion, he's a better producer than Dr. Dre, and that's really saying something because Dr. Dre really produces great music. Totally. But I think DJ Quick, being a little bit more independent, he's not as known.
Right.
You know, but in my opinion, he's better. I mean, there's and not only him, but everything he's brought, like AMG, Mossberg, Second to None, Sugar Free.
Oh yeah, Sugar Free was a big.
You want to hear my Sugar Free story?
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, where did it happen?
Nickleby's.
Okay, yes, I haven't heard this one yet.
No. So I was working at Nickleby's. I was the head of security there for a long time, and he was there playing, and his girl that was there was this little white girl, pregnant, you know, and I'm in the back room behind where the stage is at, and she's standing there, and she's kind of off by herself in the corner, and she's pregnant and just standing there by herself. And Sugar Free's like standing over by the stage, like I'm, you know, and so I walk over and I'm like, hey, can I get you some water, or can I get you something to drink? Can I get you a chair or something? You okay? You know, can I get you something? And she's like, no, okay. And Sugar Free turns to her and goes, hey, bitch, this ain't Jenny Jones. Get your ass over here and sit down.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, bro.
No, he's the real deal.
Oh, dude,
he's the real deal.
Hey, I mean, fuck him as far as that goes.
Oh, he's a piece of shit.
But,
yeah, he's a horrible person.
But I literally was like, oh, you're not joking.
No, he's not.
You're not like some black dude that grew up in a white school that just became a producer and then stepped up and got into this game.
He's a straight up.
You're real.
Yeah.
Because he's straight up. Hey, bitch, this ain't Jenny Jones. Stop talking and get over here and sit down.
And a survey it's estimated 9 out of 10 men won't check the spouse, but Sugar Free tell the pretty ass to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I tell you to harness a flea.
Yeah, it's a weird connection around here with the fucking.
It is, dude. Yeah. And you know, the same with DJ Quick. I don't know if you ever saw the documentary Visualism, but they say Oxnard and High C. I love this. High C is quoted as saying Oxnard is where the jumped off. Oh, because they're like, are we even?
Do you know why?
Because we're so fucking awesome.
Oh, you don't know why? Shit popped off at the skating rink over in Wainimi Road. What was it? Skate Palace?
Oh yeah, Skate Palace. Yeah. That's right.
No, they showed up. They showed up talking shit, and Oxnard went, "Nah, cuz y'all motherfuckers take your ass back to fucking LA."
Really?
Shit popped off in the parking lot. Oh yeah, no, it was real.
I did not know that.
So that happened, and I was 16 or 17. But I mean, again, you're 40s, I'm in my 50s. So, you know, it was.
Oh my God, thank you. I don't know if you can see the signature anymore. Sorry. Here it is, dude. You can kind of see it. Oh man. Yeah, it's about wore off, but this motherfucker, I've had it for 15 years.
To clear that.
I know. Well, I should have fucking saved it, but DJ Quick, baby.
All that happened.
I don't know if you can see the signature anymore. Yeah, it's gone.
I see nothing.
Yeah, it's out, dude.
But
this
you're gonna have to get him to sign it again.
I should bring it to him.
Oh no, thank you.
Those are brutal, Jay. You're gonna be.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's fucking. He's gonna be. You're gonna be lit up, dude.
All that was.
You got the dog?
No,
it was all when NWA first popped off and everything started happening, and they did a thing at Skate Palace, man. And they literally were like, "Fuck Oxnard," and Oxnard.
Yeah, you don't do that. You don't do that.
No, man, fuck you guys. And they've talked about it like there was shit popped off in the parking lot, and we like go home.
Welcome to Oxnard, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally. I always loved it. Like,
we don't fuck around.
Growing up playing punk rock and shit. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Nardcore, fucking. You know, they've made their own fucking name. I'm in like third generation of this shit at this point. You know what I mean? And there was nothing funnier to me than when a band from LA that thought they had some fucking shit, you know what I mean? Like would come to Oxnard and fucking have an attitude and get fucked up, dude. Oh, really? You thought you thought we were playing down here, huh? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Like it wasn't a thought process. There was nothing to it. You know, Joe Rivas and I grew up, you know, part of growing up in Oxnard, I lived on Terrace, and Joe Rivas and I would walk to school together from Terrace. Terrace is fucking horrible.
Right.
It's like it's a fucking gnarly ass street. We didn't think about nothing.
Right.
But then when you get in these situations where you're at some fucking punk gig somewhere and you're like fuck you guys, I don't care if you're from this hood or that hood, we got our hood and we'll back each other up. We'll all go to the ground for each other right now.
Right.
You know, which is one of the things that I've always respected about people from Oxnard is you can always expect that. You know, where you don't.
We're not the smartest, but you pretty much know where we stand.
That's true, man. And usually you can pick them out.
Yeah. You know what's funny is like the guys I grew up being afraid of, now I kind of pity them.
Really?
Like the gangsters.
And, oh, well, yeah.
You know, it's
where it leads, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's just to me, it's just the biggest, it's like the biggest voluntary cowardice you can participate in.
How is it voluntary?
Well, they didn't have to join the gang. You know, how many dudes have you witnessed when they're by themselves? They don't have trouble with anybody. I don't have a problem with anybody, but a couple of their friends get around, and all of a sudden they got shit to say.
Now they got something to say.
Yeah.
No.
But to say with, especially in Oxnard, and as far as Ventura County goes, can't speak outside of that. And when I say Oxnard, they definitely include El Rio. There's not a lot of choice, man. So you live in your house. You don't leave your house. You don't do anything else. You know, and for me, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have anything else.
Yeah.
You know, I literally walked out of that apartment on El Dorado and walked downstairs and stood there and waited to see what happened.
Right.
There
is a choice at a certain point. Dude.
Well,
you don't have to fucking participate
the choice is
your whole life.
No, I know what you're talking about. I remember.
You have to understand there's a choice. The
homies
eventually, I grew up with and all the dudes that I grew up with, I mean, I was a Linwood Chicas boy. Like the dudes that I grew up with, they're all fucked off. You know, they're all in prison on methadone or dead. Right. Like there's but we didn't know there was an option.
Right.
One thing that really complicates things is if somebody's in a gang for whatever reason, they're gonna expect their.
I fucking told you, dude. Shit was gonna light your ass up, man. He's over here trying to roll with the big dogs, dude.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I do it. I know what I'm getting into every time I fucking do it.
You notice I was like,
no. Hey, man, it's like,
vibing.
Hey, do you want a bump? No, man, I don't want a bump.
Right, yeah.
You got to do some heroin? Okay.
No, that's, buddy. Yeah. I told you that.
Dude, I'm fucking, my hands are tingling and shit. My elbows and shit are
that should have fucking cured your arthritis, dude.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. Man. Continue with what we were saying.
I forgot.
Yeah, I don't. It's a weird
world.
Well,
it's the choice. It's the choice. And I've been very lucky. And like when we were talking about this stuff, I think that although my father had his issues with heroin addiction and all this different stuff, my father was a good man, and he still is a good man. I love him to death. He's my hero.
Yeah,
I fucking love him. He taught me a lot of different things.
Drug addiction doesn't gauge somebody's character.
Right. Bingo.
Yeah.
Right. But so when all of this other stuff that I went through was going down, you know, I copped a case in 91 and went to jail 92 and 93. And when I was done with that, I got a year, and instead of 10 years. So sitting in court, they're like, hey, we recommend 10 years. And I couldn't have shit a fucking raisin. Like I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. I did have a lot of guns and drugs and all this different shit on me. You know, I can understand why it was yeah, but I still didn't in my head. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So when I got out, I was lucky enough that I had a structure around me that supported me.
Yes.
So a lot of my homies that I grew up with, they didn't have that structure.
Yes.
I had one of my homies that I love to death, man, Dustin. I'll tag you, Dustin, on this shit so that you can understand this. And I went to jail, and Dustin was my hand. That was my dude. That was my, I was a crack dealer. So he was I'm
surprised we haven't met.
Well,
that's my drug of choice. Yeah, but that used to be my drug of choice.
Yeah, but
really?
Oh yeah, I love crack.
Oh, we should talk about that.
Like if we found some on the ground, I would smoke it. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah. Like, well, it's just one hit.
I mean, it's just my fucking future.
This is my future. Right now I'm 45. This is it.
This is it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
As it gets.
Yeah. Dude, I got 5 more years, then I'm completely useless. Hey, I took a pee the other night. Woke up, took a pee, and I tried to go back to bed, and I collapsed. I passed out.
What?
Yeah. You guys haven't had to do the doctor's like, yeah, once you reach a certain age, that can happen. That's it. That's it. Like sometimes
like the gravity hit you or something.
Well, the thing is I was going too fast because I wanted to get back to bed before I hit that I can't fall asleep point. And the thing was because I hurried. I guess what happens when you wake up and you pee, your body releases a chemical that makes you even less able to stand and recover. So you got to give yourself a second. Yeah, but like I'm still dribbling, walking away.
And where did you pass out, on the floor? Or
right outside the bathroom floor, or right outside the bathroom door. Yeah, and it was bad. It was bad. Like it was.
You can laugh. I'm scared.
You should be, man. Take your time.
I've never ever in my life. I go to bed at night. I go to sleep, and then when I got to get up, I get up. And in the last like 4 or 5 months, I'm 52. In the last 4 or 5 months, at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I have to get up and go piss.
Yep.
And it's annoying. I lay there and go, why can't I go back to sleep?
Yeah.
You gotta piss. I'm like, no. You can work through this. And no, I can't work through this. I sit there for about 5 minutes and I get up and go take that piss.
Yeah. But
Thank
you
God.
passed out. Legit passed out.
Yeah. And it was just for like literally a matter of seconds. But when I came to,
Give me a beer.
yeah, give me one too. Yeah.
I'll take one of those dry.
Green or yellow?
Yellow. Yeah, it's dude, that's wild.
Was it green or yellow? Like,
yeah. Anyway, he knows what I meant. Anyway. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. I haven't experienced that shit yet.
But yeah, and the doctors, thank you, sir. The doctor's just like, yeah, that's gonna happen. That's like that's
dying,
it,
man.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I went to the, I promised myself when I was 30, I was like, I'm gonna start taking better care of myself.
Sure.
I quit the triple bacon cheeseburgers and stuff. I'm 45 now, and I eat pretty healthy. I stay hydrated. I don't drink too much. I try to exercise, what have you. And then it's just like that doesn't.
Can you write that
matter.
down for us? I think Craig and I need that written down
Right.
and put on a fucking grease board so that we follow it every day.
Try to exercise.
Try to exercise.
Yeah. Try not to eat that double bacon cheese.
Oh, dude, no,
Yeah.
You kind of, for me, I can be very full of myself. So it's like, I have to be, I'm too good for bacon cheeseburgers. Like, that's kind of how I have to do it.
That makes sense, actually.
I mean, the arrogance is a tool if you use it correctly.
Yeah,
it very much can be.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it happens.
I think you're looking at it wrong. I think you're like, that bacon cheeseburger is too good for me, and I need to not do that.
Right.
That's closer to the truth.
Yeah.
I deserve to eat raw salad from the ground.
You throw the bun on the ground, and then I have that.
A little bit. We're good.
That's for sure, man. What
8, 7. Nope. 7.
It's 7. Yeah. Good Lord.
Hey man, it takes me a minute to fucking focus. All
To
right,
read
guys.
your own
I'm
watch?
old. Yeah, I have to go like this for a second.
I'm really. Can I borrow $15? 20? Yeah.
Hey,
I know.
I'm not talking about money.
I saw
We're talking
the
about time.
I saw the
time is
gambler
money,
in you
but-
just come out right now, dude.
Oh, dude.
Look,
Man.
So you were telling me before that you play poker.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
Yeah.
So what do you?
Yeah.
Okay, because when he told me this, I worked at the poker house on the Avenue, did security down there.
Well, that's where it was this
Yeah.
morning. That's where it was before I came here.
So where is it now?
It's at the. You're gonna love this. Right on top of the Derby Club at the fairgrounds.
Really?
So you
That's
got
where they
horse
do poker
racing
now?
and poker. Yeah, and they've got
Really?
the table games too. 21, baccarat,
Really?
pocket, whatever. Ultimate. I don't play any of those.
How are
I don't
they
play any of
not?
those.
How is that not known?
It is. It's known enough. I guess.
Well, it's known
It's known enough to all the
you
degenerate
guys.
fucking
Yeah.
gamblers.
Yeah,
But
by
I had
me and
no
my
idea
friends,
when
yeah.
the poker house, when the card house went away, when the what was
Ash
it
Street
called?
or
No, the one that first it was on the Avenue.
was on the
and then
Avenue,
Gavin
then it
Players
went-
Will
Club,
did it.
right? Is that
Players
what it
Club.
is?
There
Yeah.
you go.
it's now the Players Casino.
Ah,
Okay,
nice.
so when it closed down at the automobile place
Mhm.
where they had that,
Mhm.
I just thought that like that
That was
Mexican
it.
lady was holding on to the license and waiting until everything passed. I had no idea that now you can go play Hold'em at the Derby Club.
Well, which Mexican lady, the manager or the owner?
The owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, dude, she's living it up in Mexico and she's getting fat checks every month.
She's
Good
been
for her. Yeah.
She has been.
Yeah,
for
and yeah,
years.
very true. Good for
much
her.
years.
How
Yeah.
many of us can just sit and collect checks
Right.
every month? Man?
100%,
That's
dude.
Yeah.
and
So you
not,
spend a lot of time there.
oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they know me by name. They know me. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely know a lot of the same people.
probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because I would go down there and be around there. I can't play poker.
They
anymore.
just reopened on the 1st of February.
Oh, okay.
So-
this is
Okay,
weird.
all right.
Because of COVID, they just weren't able to
Yeah,
operate.
yeah.
So when they
Uh,
closed down the Players
on the-
Club down at the car place,
Mhm.
they closed it
On
down
Auto
and
Center
now
Drive?
they opened it up. At
Yeah.
Auto Center Drive. So now that's at the Derby Club.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
shoot.
Rip out. So what is it?
Man,
Is it just
that's awesome.
the risk of fucking doing it, or you obviously you have your talent for poker?
Well,
I'm assuming
first,
if you play
first
a lot,
of all,
you win a lot. or-
first of all, you basically have to be a surgeon.
okay.
You have to be very, very self-disciplined. Very
Insanely.
self-disciplined.
How so?
In the fact that you can play for 4 hours, make one mistake, and lose everything.
This
Yep.
is true. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've done that a couple times. I did
Mhm.
that today, actually.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Well, you seem like you're in a
That's why I
great
was like,
mood.
it is what it is. It is
Yeah.
what it is. I'm still ahead for the year.
Oh, okay.
And
so you do the log books.
Oh yeah, every day, daily.
Yeah,
I read. You know what's funny is when I start doing well at the tables, I stop reading completely. And I know it's not in my best interest, but I read. Anybody's interested, Malmuth and Skalansky, Mason Malmuth, and I forget Skalansky's first name. 2+2 Publishing. Just about anything they publish is worth reading.
Can we put that in the liner notes so that people can look at that?
No.
Can you try to do that?
No.
What do you mean? All you have to do is add a link.
You fucking add the link. I'm not
the one in
2+2.com. I don't.
Yeah, let me just just give me some extra work, dude. Shit, I don't fucking play it or
this fucking guy acts like he works all day.
Why would I do that?
You know what I mean?
I'm not doing it. I appreciate your sport. I'm not doing it.
Okay, stop it. It is not a sport, dude. It was funny.
It's not a sport like darts ain't a sport.
If chess isn't a sport, then poker isn't either.
Yeah,
straight up. Totally. But it was fun when people were calling it a sport because we could say like, "Yeah, I have an athlete's body."
Yeah, totally.
A poker player's body.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Me and Jay, I tell him that he loves darts, and it's the most boring fucking thing on earth. Dude.
Yeah, it is kind of boring.
Oh, it's the worst.
Look, man, I get where you guys are coming from. I am obsessed. Like you with poker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I watch dart. I wake up every day and watch darts, and then I get up out of bed and I go practice darts.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's an obsession, bro.
Hey,
at
least you have something, man.
But that's
there you go.
You know, I know I can't play poker.
It's cool.
I'm the worst.
Well,
I don't have my face has no. When I get something good, my face goes, yeah. Every motherfucker at this table that looks for the eye twitch.
Yeah.
The whole face twitched.
Nobody looks for
can't
talent.
do that.
Here's what I want to know. What is a good poker face? Like in your mind, what is it? Because here's the thing, like you said, I play very little poker. I don't even know the fucking rules, to be honest, you know. But like, what is it? Are you're not looking for tells? You're not looking for shit.
I mean, I am, but
you are.
But most people aren't.
How so?
Because they're just there to gamble.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I benefit.
So what do you look for? Yeah. What are you looking for people? Like, you have to be like a fucking like a
savant.
No, like you have to be like understanding body like language
to a certain extent.
Weird
to a certain
like,
extent, yeah. To a certain extent, like there's very simple tells.
What's the most common tells?
Like when people lean towards the table, they typically have a good hand because they're getting closer to the action. If you see, like a lot of times, like, you know, we'll just say the bar's right here and I sit like this. Sometimes people will sit with their hands out, and if you notice, their hands will kind of actually start to stretch out when they have a good hand, and they'll pull them back when they have a bad hand.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's no tells.
Yeah.
There's no tells.
Oh, there's tells left and right.
Yeah, this guy's like, that's not a thing.
Yeah, no.
But you have to take
if your hands and all that, I do everything. I did all of that right now, even thinking about it. I did all of that. I'm like, my hands reaching out. I'm scratching my balls. I'm playing with my nipples. You know, I got a good hand. My hand goes straight to my nipple. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's go.
When you get pocket aces and go, holy shit, this is a responsibility. That's when you get your poker face.
Right.
Because I remember when I taught my daughter to play, she get pocket aces and her like
everything.
Like the sun would shine behind her and like birds would start. Yeah. It's like, baby girl, no.
I know.
No. Like, and it's funny because like I know, you know, I had like suited connectors, like 910 or something like that. Both, you know, the same shape and color.
Yeah, thank God you explained that. I had no fucking clue what you're saying just now.
Suit is clubs, hearts, spades.
Okay.
So I had we'll say a 910 of hearts, and I called her anyway, and I ended up catching like 2 pair or something. And this is like the worst parenting thing you can absolutely do is get your daughter super excited and then crush her dreams, take all her money.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
How is that the worst?
That's what you should do.
And that's the thing. I don't. I never let my kids win anything. If they win, it's because they earned it, and I will be furious.
Yeah. I actually let my kid. We went to golf and stuff a couple days ago, and I put my fat ass in one of those fucking Indy cars, and it was. I mean, it was. It was having the jaws of life.
How was getting out of it?
I mean, I could fit, but it was.
They had to put it on its side.
It was rough, dude.
They're all walking,
but I let this little motherfucker
on it. You know,
I let this little motherfucker beat me.
No,
and I never realized. I'm pretty harsh on
was
my
it
kids.
King?
For the most, yeah,
okay, yeah.
And so
he's never gonna let you forget.
Oh, that motherfucker has brought it up every time, every 5 seconds for the past 2 days, and finally I was like, you know, I let you beat you, right? I beat your ass. I'll beat your ass right now. You want to go back? You know, I was like, I never again, dude. Look, because I'm generally pretty harsh. Like, hey, man,
I'm super competitive.
Yeah. Most Monopoly into crying.
Yes.
Fucking, you know what I mean? All the games, card games, whatever it is. Like,
that's how you become a man.
It is, man. You got to deal with.
I mean, really, defeat. Monopoly should be taught in school to a certain extent because it really is a prime. And here's the thing: a lot of people think Monopoly was really meant to be like this pro-capitalism thing. It's really not. It's really not.
Okay.
Because it was more in the beginning, it was more of like a socialized, everybody gets this amount, and then we start from there.
Mm-hmm.
But it
But when you end up with one property and fucking someone has
it's
completely.
fascinating.
Here's, you know what? You bring me to a point that is just, it's pointless to bring up, but it bothers me. Nobody plays board games correctly.
Okay.
Right?
All
like, when did you play checkers ever?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Hey, real quick, everybody, I just want you to know this is how you become a high-level poker player.
Let's hear it.
You gotta start with checkers.
This motherfucker right here. This is how you do it.
He's thinking
because you analyze how to win every game that you play.
Yes,
it is flipping quarters. And again, I've worked at these houses and I've watched these people, and it is all about that.
Right.
It's all about what does it take to win.
So continue with your checkers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I was playing checkers a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember who I was playing against. They were female. I'm super hot, I'm sure. But I took a single jump and I had two jumps. She's like, oh, you have to take that second jump. I'm like, no, I don't. Come to find out, yes, you do. If you have a second jump, you have to take it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
And I realized none of us actually read the instructions.
Oh, yeah.
Like for some people who play Monopoly, they'll put all the money in the center for like the free parking or whatever, or go to jail. And that's not supposed to go in there. Like we all have our own little stupid rules. And for decades, I was playing checkers incorrectly. Because I'll set myself up for a triple jump or something, thinking 2-3 steps ahead, like you would in chess or what have you. And they don't even allow you that.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So turns out checkers is even easier than I thought, and I'm even worse than I thought.
Yeah, but if it comes to a complicated poker is a game of numbers and fucking that's just it's a
math, stats, and as much as you can. It's kind of like, I think it was General Patton during World War II. He said, there's only 3 things in war we can't control. That's the terrain, the weather, and the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
It's very similar with poker. There's a few things you can't control. That's your opponent, how much they're going to bet. And I'm sure there's one more thing that I can't think of.
Right. And then maybe the cards are dealt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you really do, because I played well all day and I made one mistake, and my thought process was not even in it.
Really?
Yeah. I was just basically playing purely off of like emotion and adrenaline. I had pocket 10s. I ended up going all in like a dipshit. Dude has pocket kings, and
Wow.
And that was dumb. Even when I was doing it, I'm like, this doesn't really make too much sense.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
When you're like, I know I shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
And that all of that little stuff is why I just don't play poker, man. I'll play poker with you and you, and we
I'm
can
not
set
playing
up a
poker
table.
with him.
No, I will because we'll have fun, and he'll just play like he's playing with a bunch of kids off the slow bus.
Willie,
you know what I mean?
That's kind of how you have to play.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. Like you know, coming into it, we're just playing for fun.
Well, here's the thing, somebody who doesn't know what they're doing is far more dangerous than somebody who does know what they're doing.
Do you know a guy named Wade? He's a big dude. He's got a giant nose. He's been a poker player for years. He's one of my best friends, and he is a stone cold psycho ice face killer. And
it helps.
His math stuff and how he knows, like he knows the percentages of this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And he doesn't play with emotion.
Yeah.
He plays, it's all same thing.
It's
He's got the book.
at that point.
He does everything.
How many cards are in a deck of cards?
52.
Okay.
So
very easily you can establish that. Well, I mean, not very easily. I know this for a fact because I looked it up, but each card is 1.923%.
Okay.
So each card is approximately 2%.
Yeah.
So there you go.
We will never be good at poker.
This is we're like, hey, what? Look, what? If you want me to fucking build you a bridge and grade a road, I can do that.
Dude, I would much rather be able to build a bridge than play poker.
I can fucking run a bulldozer on a slope easy. But
nobody's ever gonna point to my game and go like, Blane did that. You got a bridge. You're like,
I built a lot of shit, and I'll drive through a job site and I'm like, hey kids, I built that.
And they don't give a shit.
They don't give a
yes.
fuck, dude. Yes. fuck's what you did.
Before I had kids, I'm like, I'm so proud of this road I just paved. I can't wait to show my kids. And they're like, you took us the long way to show us a road?
I'm like, look, I just built something that's going to potentially last hundreds of years, right? And they're all, cool story. Have you seen TikTok?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Post it on TikTok,
now,
I guess.
Now when I say it, I go, hey, kids, and we're on the freeway, they go, you built it. Like all fucking snot. I'm like, hey, man, you know?
I would watch.
Fucking sons of bitches.
I would watch, and then this is how I learned. Like, here's the higher level poker players, and here's the people that just want to come down here to just be here all day.
Yeah.
Is the Omaha High-Low.
Yes.
The Omaha High-Low.
At the casino, at Players, absolutely.
You would watch them play, and like the Hold'em players are very meticulous, and like, this is what's going on, and you can watch the whole thing. The Omaha High-Low, and I'll explain this to you later. You would watch these people play, and they would just go,
yeah,
and then let the dealer go, oh yeah, you won.
Yeah.
You know, but have
because it was high-low. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's hard to play because you want to win the high and the low.
Yeah. But so many of them have no idea what they just know that
the reason why I avoid high-low hands is because unless you have the high and the low, you're only getting half that palm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then a lot of the players are just there to.
Omaha's a great game. Omaha's like similar to Hold'em, except you get 4 cards instead of 2.
Okay.
And you have to use 2 of your cards. 2 of them. Whatever.
Yeah.
And in high-low, you can end up using all 4, 2 for the high and 2 for the low.
Yeah.
Like say you have aces and 2s,
right?
Or 2, 3, whatever.
It's a lot, bro.
I'm sure it is.
I hate that game.
Yeah.
You know,
I love to be a degenerate. Yeah. And I love to gamble, but
wait a minute, hold on. This is a surprise. Let me see. I like to play poker. I'm a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of time here and there.
Yeah.
Can't remember if I quit coke.
I'm still looking for that rock on the floor.
All right, break out a ball. Let's see.
If I walk away, I don't do coke. If I don't,
and most of it comes down to that adrenaline pump.
Okay, fine. I'm a degenerate. Fine.
Yeah. But it comes to the pump.
I love it.
It comes to the rush of everything. Whether you control that rush or how you deal with that rush, what it is really is the rush of everything.
But the thing is, to stay disciplined in poker, you don't actually ride that rush. You can't.
Right.
Because once you let that adrenaline take over,
getting it. You're gonna get it at some point in time.
Yeah.
All of them. It's that. You know, you deal with it, which is the most amazing part to me, is the fact that you can get that rush here and then take that rush to here and stay calm and focused into this. Like, I'm playing for $6,000 right now. Like, I'm losing my shit.
Whether it's
I lose my shit off $50,
whether it's $6 or 6,000, correct play is correct play. When you start looking at it like that, you're going to be more successful.
Well, and you got it's looking at it, and I learned this later on, and I still know that I can't do it, but it's not about how much it is. It's just the percentages and the numbers and being able to deal with that, which I think takes an amazing mindset. And to get to that point, to be able to do all that, to me, is insane.
Yeah.
It is a next level thing. It's, again, I know you talk shit about me and my dart stuff, but watching high level dart players playing for $500,000 and they have to throw, like, that pressure to be able to focus and get through that, it's just nuts.
Boring.
Boring.
I really tried it. I don't know.
Hey, look.
Why the fuck I hang out with this guy?
Anybody who doesn't do anything that I think is cool is a dork, but at least you're doing something. I mean, you know.
Yeah,
definitely.
If you're doing, you know,
what are you doing?
What ain't I doing?
He's keeping John C in Nikes. All right.
That's right. Yeah. Anyway, so what are your plans? COVID's opening up. Are you planning on trying to get back into comedy?
Oh, absolutely. But I'm going to be heading really more towards LA. I'm not going to be doing anything here locally.
Are you able to get back in the comedy, comedy circuit back out there easily at this point, or
I don't think it'll be a problem at all.
You don't think so?
I don't think it'll be a problem at all, because
it seems like it's going back up again.
It is. But you know, this whole stupid COVID thing, it's amazing how like almost it parallels the Spanish flu with, you know, with our lack of taking it seriously, and then our overtaking it, you know.
It's pretty much the way everything goes in life.
True.
It's just now we have.
Well,
way
we're
more-
Americans.
but
We have
also
the right to our ignorance, and we have the right to
Right.
die if we want to.
Yeah.
We're humans.
Yeah.
No matter what, across the board, we're humans, and we're seeing things now on a grander scale because we have all this internet and stuff that comes at us.
Yes, very
So
true.
like as Americans, we're a little bit more degenerate.
Yes,
But overall, across the board, we're all still like, oh my God, we're all gonna die. Here's this flu.
Yeah, very
which is
true.
exactly what I thought, and lost some people,
Right.
but so then there's the recovery aspect of it. Instead of getting into, okay, now we're recovering, let's take those steps. Everybody's still in the, I don't want anyone around me to die because I haven't had that. Where 100 years ago, everybody around us died.
Right.
Nobody 100 years ago, you expected your child to die.
Yeah.
And now your parent or your grandparent is 80 years old, and you're like,
dude, too fucking old.
Everything else for them not to die.
Too damn old. I don't want to live past 60, man.
No,
unless I'm very wealthy.
Right.
Basically, unless I'm sugar free at 65.
Living out there like Ron White.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Ron White, I don't know if his girlfriend, if they're still dating, she lives out here, or she lives in Oxnard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's a member of the Channel Islands Yacht Club.
Okay.
And he's always there. My friend works there.
Okay.
And actually, he did the levity because my friend's like, oh, why don't you do the levity?
Yeah,
I didn't even know it existed. And like 2 weeks later, he did the levity a couple
That's
years
awesome.
ago.
Yeah, he's not. He's single again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's single.
He's sober.
He's sober. He's in.
He needs a haircut. I know that. He needs a haircut.
He can fucking do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch
yeah.
everything he fucking does.
Yeah.
I can't wait for his next special to come out.
You know what's funny about Ron White is he was on the blue collar comedy tour, but he's very much an intellect. I think 2 of his ex-wives were both members of Mensa. At least one of them was. Yeah. But he still, the joke about his brother-in-law was like, oh, I have a Mercedes, and he bought a van. He's like, well, I got a place to fuck your sister. It's like, all right, I'm gonna buy this guy a beer.
Yeah. Have you thought about trying to do like a comedy special or anything? Is that anywhere in your trying to put out material at all?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was working on doing a special when COVID kind of fucked everything up.
Would it be like a YouTube thing or?
I'm going to release it as low budget and free as possible.
100%.
I mean, I don't mean low budget. I mean, I want it to have high production value,
right?
But nothing.
How do you feel about what the comedians are doing right now with like Shane Gillis, like fucking
Mark
Norman? They release their shit for free like that. Is that something that like?
Well, I think that's.
I mean, that's a new thing in comedy, right? I mean,
yeah, but also like bands like Run the Jewels do that as well,
right?
Yep.
Right.
And they release their albums for free and then make their money off of touring and merchandising,
and make their money. Like Mark Norman made a shitload of money off YouTube.
Dude, Mark Norman's hilarious.
Yeah,
he's
very funny.
Yeah. And so is Shane Gillis.
Yeah,
right. But it has changed the whole entire. I mean, for musicians, for comedians, the avenue was get big enough to get someone to put your special out to be that, and now this is gone. So I'm wondering, like, as a guy who's thinking about possibly putting out material.
Well, as independent artists, you're going to end up making more if you're successful.
Right.
If you make $1 million because somebody put $6 million behind you, did you really accomplish much? Yeah. But if you put 20 grand into something, you end up making $500,000 off it. That's a big fucking deal.
Right. Yeah.
And I think what we're seeing now is that with things like TikTok and Facebook and what have you, you can very easily be independent. DJ Quick, I think he's been independent almost his whole career, if not his entire career. I think he did one. Has he? Okay. Yeah. And and what else? Like, Run the Jewels. They're not rich, but they do well.
Oh yeah. I mean, they released. I'm sure they're doing fine. And that motherfucker just started his own bank, by the way.
Killer Mike.
Yeah. Which I just got my bank card, dude.
Oh, okay, cool.
For Killer Mike's bank, dude.
Greenwood,
yeah. I'm fucking like.
Honestly, I was like, can white people? And they're like, yeah, no, totally. I was like, okay, all right. I wasn't sure.
He's gonna take white people's money for sure.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But every now and again, you're like, oh, I want to join in. Like, this is our thing. Like, oh, fucking sorry.
Yeah, but it's so weird because for so long in music, I only have a reference for music, right? It was always, get on a label, get a label to put your shit out, blah, blah, blah. Whatever happens on the back end happens on the back end. As long as you're out there touring, that's the money you're making. Yeah. You can basically assume that you're not going to make any money from the record.
Well, a record deal is basically a loan.
Essentially. Right. Yeah. I mean, and I always dealt on every record deal I ever did was a fair deal, 50-50 split after recoup costs. It was always very fair. I never got involved in the massive shit. But what I have viewed in the last 5-6 years in the music world is your music is a promotional material at this point.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And the only way you are really going to
true.
make money is on touring and shows and merchandise and shit like that. And it's very odd to me that now the comedians are just kind of starting to see it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it's really interesting. You know what I mean? Like, because they are viewing it as like, these guys are putting out these specials on YouTube or for free, essentially. And it is driving massive amounts of traffic to their shows, which is where they make money. And I think I think it's beautiful that they're starting to figure it out at this point. It's something that the underground music scene has figured out a long time ago. You know what I mean? So it's
always
cool.
fun it's always fun to have a punk rock aspect to anything you do. So that would be why I would lean more towards just staying independent. Right. You know, win or lose, it's still it's my house.
It's your house.
Yeah.
Right. Totally.
As opposed to, you know, going for it, failing, and then owing, you know, Arista $50,000 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, they still a label. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
You thought about starting
I'm like label Geffen. No, Arista. There we go.
There you go.
Or Arista. How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, definitely not Sony, not fucking. Yeah.
No, they're still around. They're doing great. They own a third of everything.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's very cool to me to see comedians starting in the last few years. Like, you know, Louis C.K., big one. You know what I mean? Fucking said, fuck it, I'm putting out my own special.
It's fucking hilarious,
it's so good. But even the last couple have been incredible through his own website.
Yeah,
you pay directly to him.
This
guy's making millions of fucking dollars. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the fucking way. Like,
not only that, but there was one show where he didn't think he did good, so he refunded everybody's money.
Right.
I think it might have been at the OPAC.
It was Oxnard. Yeah. I got my money back.
Yeah. He felt like he didn't do a good job,
incredible.
So he refunded.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went and saw it, had a great time. He was fucking amazing. Like, and then all of a sudden, like a week later, he refunded my money.
That's
like,
awesome, man.
What the fuck? But then he, jerked off in front of some chicks.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah, I was like, oh,
that was a private situation.
I know. Yeah, I'm with this is
for a while. I was like, man, Louis, you disappointed me. But really, I'm like, no, everybody else disappointed me.
Yeah,
because first and foremost, he tried to avoid the situation. He never denied it. He never, it happened. He's embarrassed by it, but he doesn't want to discuss it. Right. And then when it came to a point where it's obvious it is now public knowledge, then he issued an apology, which guys like Cosby or whatever, you're not going to get an apology from those fuckers.
And Louis C.K. asked permission for something to happen, and they said no.
Right,
and he went okay.
Essentially, I don't know. I mean,
no, he.
I don't know.
Is it okay if I jerk off in front of you?
They said yes. Both the girls said yes.
Okay, then if they said yes, then what's
exactly? So anyway, here's the thing. It was their super cool wannabe reporter friend who broke the story.
Right.
Yeah.
To them, it was just an inside funny joke. It was that this is an awkward story. One of the women I know was a comedian. Mm-hmm. And if Louis C.K. is like, hey, you mind if I jerk off in front of you? I'm gonna watch the train wreck. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna.
100%.
I'll be like, yeah,
100%. I want to.
You seen Louis C.K.'s dick? I mean, I know most of us have, but I have.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, but yeah, comedians. I would jerk off to get people to leave my house. If I get out, guys, come on, man, I want to be alone. We're gonna hang out, watch TV. I go, really? Are you sure? Really?
Yeah. I mean,
that was obvious. They did not want to see it.
Right. I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah. Well,
jerking off,
but right in front of you two. I mean, don't think I haven't thought about this.
Not if I do it first.
Yeah. Hey, so what about starting your own thing in town? Like, we had somebody that was trying to do it, and there's a bunch of people in town that.
Yeah, there's some open mics.
Yeah, I mean,
but they're all bullshit.
Are they?
They just suck, man. I'm sorry. I honestly, I want to speak
real quick. Where are there open mics now? I mean, there was. I don't know. That's why I'm not asking. I'm just asking as like, where do they do open mics?
Wednesday nights at the Harbor Comedy Club. Kiana Marquez, who hates my guts, by the way, she hosts that one. And then there was one at Patty's. There was one at Cemetery Park that I don't think exists anymore.
I know they're doing it at Fatty Vegan.
Yeah. I'm not gonna ever step foot in that place. I don't really give a shit about that. I used to support Amy so much, and I still love her. But when she's posting pictures online with her and Camilo, the sexual predator / rapist, I can't deal with that.
What is that? What are you talking about?
I would really like to know.
Yeah,
this
I don't
as
know.
well.
Okay, well, the guy who's responsible basically for
Camille
our local comedy
Alvarez?
scene,
Okay.
Camille Albiar,
Yeah,
was exposed as a
Oh.
rapist and a sexual predator.
Okay, what now?
What-
I
okay.
went and saw Brian Callen a few weeks ago.
That was his show.
That was
you
his show.
Fucking piece of shit.
Oof,
That's
man.
how did you know?
Okay,
You weren't there, were
No, fuck
you
no.
didn't- no.
If
yeah.
I was there, I would have. You would have known.
No, I know. Yeah, because I saw.
look, this is like, why is that? Because I know Camille, not as a friend, don't give a fuck about him.
Camilo?
Like what you know him, what is that how you say Camilo?
Yeah.
So I've dealt with him, talked to him, been to a bunch of the shows he's done. I've talked to him about comedy, big comedy fan.
He and I used to be like this, man.
okay,
Okay.
so
yeah.
okay, perfect. So he was doing a show, putting on a show. I think it might have been Brian Callen,
Right.
might have been one of the Rogan deals. It might have been Diaz, whatever.
There's
it
only one
was.
Rogan deal, and that was one of the few times I saw Rogan
Right,
upset.
I-
And he had every right to be upset.
Oh, really?
yeah, because
Okay.
Camilo signed him up for a bunch of shit he never even
Didn't agree to.
discussed with Rogan.
Really?
Like they were gonna do meet and greets, signings. He was selling VIP,
shit, okay.
VIP tickets where they're gonna meet Joe, and none of this was ever run by Joe.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
you know
That was at the Hong Kong.
No.
Yeah, it's a Hong Kong Inn.
Yeah,
That was on. Yeah,
we-
I watched
I was
both
there.
shows.
and Brian Callen was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
was
sat there at the corner of the bar.
Right.
I bought
Yeah.
tickets for both shows with a bunch
Oh,
of friends for the
awesome.
first show.
Yeah.
And then after the first show, I told everybody bye. And I went and sat there and watched the second show by myself.
Right.
both shows were
I- I
great.
would-
Both
I-
shows
oh,
were great.
insane, man.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
Diaz, Callen, saw all of them there.
Yeah.
Same
But
spot.
Joey was great there too. Yeah,
I would
Yeah.
show up early to make sure I got that corner spot on the bar so I can see the stage and not have anybody around me and just be able to watch it.
Right.
You know, and it was all of them were
So
incredible.
your back is to the bar, you mean?
No,
when you're
well,
watching.
You know what? If I turned to look at the bar, yeah, but it was where the corner where the bar came down and turned. I would get that high. top
Oh
camera
yeah, I
right
got you.
there.
Yeah, that's a good
So
spot.
that
Yeah.
I just sat there and had the stage in front of me, and there
Yeah.
was nobody over me, and there was nobody around me,
Right.
and it was amazing.
Okay.
But I
But
mean,
my
so
whole
obviously
thing
there was
is-
a falling
is-
out
is-
that happened.
Well,
right?
hold on, real quick, please,
Okay.
and get into what you're saying.
Okay.
Because what was the fact that 7:30? It was the fact that I got hit up a couple of times because I would go to his shows and somebody hit me up and said, "Hey, this guy's a piece of shit rapist. Don't support him." But I'm so like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
There was
it's
nothing
hard,
else and I ran into a lot of that because a lot of people are
Okay.
like, dude, I wasn't there, and I'm like, I wouldn't be doing this. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
and you guys were good friends.
A woman, he and I were roommates. A woman I was dating, she kind of ruined my life there for a little bit. She got 86 from the house. The very next day, he brought her over trying to fuck her.
Mhm.
The day after that, she calls me saying, "Oh, Camilo roofied me." I'm like, "Bitch, you ain't even supposed to be in here in the first fucking place. Why are you in my house? You're not supposed to be here." Like I got a little sugar free
I
on
get
her
you.
ass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "You weren't even supposed to fucking be here. Now you're gonna tell me my friend tried to assault you and that you only had one drink? Like this chick's an alcoholic. I don't believe it for a second."
Really?
Then about less than 2 weeks later, a mutual friend of all of ours called him out on Facebook and told us a story of how he
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
And the story was kind of in hindsight, she left some stuff out, what have you. But what happened is over 20 women came out and said in some way, shape, or form they had
Holy shit.
yeah,
Really?
yeah, over 20 women.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I've never heard
I
this
would
in
just-
my life.
I would
Same
just
here.
turn them like somebody would say, because I was like, hey, anybody's got anything to say about this guy, please let me know. And if anybody said anything, I just directed them to one of the females. There's a couple of females who were kind of handling
Right.
because that was none of my business.
Right.
What happened, this woman, what her name is, whatever, is none of my business unless
Sure,
she
sure.
makes it my business.
Right.
But I just really wanted very hard to expose him. And also,
Yeah.
it's kind of being selfish because I wanted to make sure everybody knew that I did,
Nothing to
I hung
do
out
with
with him every day.
Especially you lived with him.
Yeah,
right?
lived with him, yeah.
Totally, man.
yeah.
You're
Okay.
guilty by association. in some
Exactly.
people's
And I just
eyes,
wanted to make
right.
sure people knew, like, I was
Right,
never okay
yeah.
with this. I
Wow.
didn't.
And he's
even...
still fucking walking around doing shit like it's no.
No,
thing,
he's
right?
out of state.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah. And
Okay.
you can thank me for that. Me
Good,
literally.
yeah.
Me
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah,
you can
good.
thank me for that.
Yeah,
And-
that's awesome.
For me, on my personal is, when we're not friends, don't know him, honestly, didn't really like, he was just somebody that was like, I didn't like his attitude and his demeanor and everything,
Yeah.
but he was doing what he was doing. I wanted to go see his shows. And when somebody DM'd me personally that I have no idea who they are. It might have been you, bro.
Might have been me.
Somebody DM'd me and said, "Hey, look, man, just so you know, don't go see his shows. This dude is a rapist."
Wow, that's
and
crazy.
I was like, all right. I don't know how to take this, but I will.
I got a lot of that.
And yeah. You know what I mean? And that's why when you said that and you started talking about it, that's where I'm like, well, wait a minute. Okay, now I want to know because, you know, I don't know the dude.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I also, like, if somebody says something like that, I want to know. You know what I mean? If everybody would have paid attention when people started talking about Cosby 50 years ago,
exactly,
then that motherfucker would not have been doing it for 50 years.
Yeah,
right. That's wild, man.
Yeah.
So he's the one that did the Brian Callen show down there.
Yeah.
But did he perform there? He was the opener, right?
I have no idea.
Yes.
I have no idea.
Because there was a guy whoever was the host, I would assume it was him. It was the worst set I've ever.
He's actually pretty funny.
No, but
really
like
hurts.
I don't know. Like I don't know who it was, and I don't want to blast him. But, you know,
was he a bit fat, disgusting South American?
Yeah,
that's him.
Yeah, he forgot his own punchlines to his joke. Like,
dude,
it was wild, dude. It was like uncomfortably bad, and I didn't know who it was. You know what I mean? I was like, this is. I wanted to leave. It was that bad.
His shows are literally an excuse to get all the cokeheads together.
Wow.
His open mics on Wednesday nights, and you know, because you would see.
Yeah.
Right. It would be. I mean, 80% of the crowd would be cokeheads.
Wow.
And they'd all be doing blow in the bathroom, and I'd join in on occasion. I'm not trying to say I was.
It's not
innocent.
like we're all above that.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a daily thing. I don't know how you can. You have to be so pathetic to do cocaine.
It's a wild deal.
On a daily basis, man.
Right. Yeah.
Like, go take a fucking jog, man. Go jump out of an airplane. Do something.
Yeah. No, it was a weird, because I'm a big fan of Brian Callen. I don't know nothing. It was
Brian's great.
Performed, and that was great.
Sounds great.
And there was what's the other guy's name? He's a very funny comedian, white dude. He was on that same Laugh Junkies. He's from here anyway. He was very funny, but the first fucking guy, and he was the host throughout the night.
Yeah.
I would assume it's him. It's the same guy I've seen a couple times. I was like, I was crawling out of my skin, dude. Like,
that's horrible.
I was like, it made me want to fucking throw up. Dude.
I like shit bags with a heart of gold, and I thought that's what he was.
Right,
but I was very wrong.
Shit bag, huh?
He's just a shit bag. Yeah,
it's good to know. Man.
In my heart, I honestly thought there's some good in there somewhere. And then when that happened, I was like, okay, like he's a sociopath. He's very self-absorbed. He brags about how lazy he is. I mean, just you know, like from like a theological standpoint, or from like a political standpoint, or it's like, you kind of just need to be drowned. Like, we need to just take you out to the river and drown you, man. Get rid of
your ass, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's good to know. I had no idea, dude.
And I'm a Libra, so we either save everybody or kill them all. I'm good either way. I'm good either way.
Yeah, man. Well,
but we need to commit, right? We either kill them all,
it's a commitment,
or save them all.
Yeah, dude. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming on the pod, man.
Thank you very much.
I really
thank you very much.
It's nice to know that this podcast will come out probably right as we get nuked by Russia.
Good.
And it'll never hit the air.
Good. But I hope we're as brave as the Ukrainians.
Dude, I know.
Because those guys, man, my hat
that I get a little bit of bravery in what they're doing. It is so. Did you guys? Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
this will end up going for.
We will. Yeah,
our hearts go out to the people in Ukraine.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, we'll do this again. I'm thoroughly enjoyed it, man. That was awesome.
Let me see. I'm available from now until forever.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
No, you will be seeing me back on stage. I'm gonna be, LA, Las Vegas, San Francisco.
Okay.
I feel like I've established myself enough.
Mike in Ventura somewhere at some point.
Maybe
we need to.
Maybe.
Jay runs the garage bar. Maybe you guys can fucking.
You guys, had a mic there for a while. What happened to that?
That was before we bought it.
Oh, so new owners.
Yeah.
Wow. Jesus Christ, man.
You go? Yeah. New owner.
Dude, that's
1091 Scandi Avenue. Come by. Great cocktails.
Yeah. Anyway.
Are your bartenders any good?
They are. They're
great. Okay.
Hey, man.
Except for Jay.
Right here.
He's not.
How many pool tables?
One.
Just one?
4 dartboards though, bro.
What days is pool free?
Oof.
Is it Mondays or Tuesdays? It is one of those days.
It's at least Monday or Tuesday, not Sunday though. Most people give us Sunday. I appreciate that.
We go there right now. I'll open the pool table up for you.
There you go, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll do my hour special.
There you go.
There you go.
The garage,
hey, man.
Live in the garage.
Live in the garage.
Anyway, all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you.
All right. Peace.